Good evening, everybody. I trust everyone had a good holiday season. Welcome back. Tonight, we're going to open the meeting for our January 2nd, 2024 meeting. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order. I don't know. Yeah. Let's start with Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council members, you were all presented with your packets electronically and in the physical form over the weekend. I hope you had an opportunity to look everything over. At this time, I will accept or take any proposals to accept tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Second by Councilmember Schlueter. Any discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody disapprove? The ayes have it. Moving on to consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda routine have been made available to the City Council at least 2 days in advance of the meeting. These items will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. In which event this item will be removed from the agenda and considered in normal sequence. Mr. Roby, you want to go through these consent agenda items with us, please?
I would. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. We have 5 items on tonight's consent agenda. Items A and B, just of note, are on here. Tonight's the organizational meeting, of course, where the council considers setting its operations for the calendar year, but we did include minutes and disbursements on here because both of these items would have been included on the December 26th meeting had that meeting been held. So item 4A is approval of minutes from the December 11th meeting. Item B is approval of disbursements through December 26th. Included in those disbursements is a payment to Alpha Wireless Communications for the second order of police department radios for $41,510.54. Item C is the setting of the 2024 City Council and Board and Commission meeting schedule, which is attached to your packet. Item 4D, approval of the 2024 city depositories, and item 4E, approval of the 2024 assistant weed inspector.
Thank you. And to make it clear, who is our head weed inspector, Mr. Roby?
Could the consent agenda be, you are, the mayor is, yes.
Title that you probably won't.
I do. Does anybody have any questions for our city administrator regarding these consent agenda items? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Swanberg.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Huntington. Any other discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to public comment. I don't think we have anybody on that sheet. Okay, thank you. So there is no public comment tonight, just for the record. Moving on to the regular agenda, starting with item 6A, City Council 2024 Board and Commission appointments. Mr. Roby, you want to review this for us, please?
I would. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Annually, the mayor appoints members of the City Council to a number of boards and commissions. These appointments do not require a City Council vote. They are true appointments. I've included the list on the screen and also in your packet. For consistency purposes, most of the appointments for 2024 remain the same as in 2023. There were a couple of changes made. And the most significant change was the addition of a second council representative to the HRA board. The only appointment here that needs to have council approval is the president of the City Council.
Very good. Any questions? So the motion ahead of us then is the appointment of Mr. Marvin Sullivan as our City Council President pro tem.
So moved.
A motion's been made by Huntington. It's been seconded by Mr. Tui. Any discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to item 6B, that would be the Citizen Board of Commissions and Appointments. Mr. Roby.
Tonight, we have currently vacancies in 4 different commissions that require appointment of at-large citizen members. I'm going to walk through each of those commissions here. The first is the Airport Commission. The Airport Commission currently has one 3-year vacancy. We've received one applicant from a current Airport Commission member, and that's Mike Doherty. Mike is a qualified candidate, and so the recommendation from staff would be to appoint Mike Doherty to the Airport Commission with a term ending December 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second, Councilmember Swanberg, seconded by Councilmember Sullivan. Any comments, concerns? If not, all those in favor of Mr. Doherty? Anybody opposed? The ayes have it.
Next is moving on to the EDA. The EDA has one vacancy currently as the current chair, the previous chair, Jesse Wenish, his term expired at the end of 2023. Mr. Wenish has applied for the 5-year seat. For his old seat, he was the only applicant for that position. And so at this time, staff would recommend to appoint Jesse Wenish to the EDA for a term ending December 31st, 2028.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion's been made by Councilmember Huntington.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Swanberg. Any other discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor? Anybody opposed? The ayes have it.
And finally tonight for RPAC, which actually met earlier today, there were 2 vacancies on RPAC. The applicants, Rosie Goggin and Brandon Redeens, actually attended tonight's meeting, not as voting members, but as witnesses to the meeting, members of the public, hoping they would get reappointed. They were previously members of RPAC. Those terms are 3-year terms. And so the recommendation from staff is to appoint Rosie and Brandon to those respective terms ending December 31st, 2026.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? If not, I'll accept any motions. Thank you, Councilmember. Moving awful fast here. Councilmember Williams, second, I believe Councilmember Tui. Thank you. Any discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor? Anybody opposed? The ayes have it.
And finally, just of note, the Planning Commission does have one vacancy currently. I spoke with an individual today who was interested in applying, and we did receive one application late today. I deemed it too late to put on the agenda for tonight, but I will plan to bring back candidates next Monday night for the meeting for appointment to the Planning Commission.
Nice.
Thank you. Moving on to our last item, which is item 6C, the fire department policy update. Hopefully everybody's had opportunity to look that over. Mr. Roby, do you want to review that, please?
I would, yes. This has been a long time coming, and the fire department is very eager to see this in front of City Council. A little over 2 years ago, the fire department really started to look closely at their internal policies that govern their key operations, everything from recruitment to chain of command, training, attendance requirements, duties of officers, things like that. And the last time this had been updated, as far as the fire department's records are concerned, was 2010. Whether that was City Council approved in 2010 or if that was just approved internally by the fire department in 2010, I can't confirm. But the last version was in 2010. The fire department internally, their executive committee made a number of modifications to the policies. They then brought that to me. I met with a couple of their executive officers and Chief Wenish to discuss their proposed changes. We made a couple of amendments to their proposed changes and discussed how we could ensure mainly that the policies are fair and consistent, and also that they align with the city's overall personnel policy, because at the end of the day, firefighters are employees of the city of Sueur. So the policies that you see in front of you have been reviewed by the fire chief, and they will be reviewed annually by the executive committee of the fire department. And if they have any suggested changes or amendments, they'll bring those to HR Director Lawrence and me, and if necessary, we'll bring them back to council for updates.
Very good. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Sullivan.
Joe, I have a quick question. I meant to send this to you and I forgot. I couldn't find what the question was. It just went across to me. On page 6 of the document at the bottom, talks about for the administrator may consult with the board of trustees. For we referencing that when we reference board of trustees, I don't see a definition at the
So actually on page 7, section 4, there are two committees.
Okay.
One is the executive committee, which currently exists in the board of trustees, which is the most senior captain, most senior lieutenant, and 3 regular firefighters, which are randomly selected for 2-year terms. The purpose here is to create somewhat of a sounding board separate from the chief himself.
Yeah, and I apologize, that's why I didn't send the question to you.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Yep.
Of course.
Mr. Tui.
Just, nothing with the policy, it's just that I spent 25 or 30 years being audited, both by third parties and customers and stuff, and I just have a suggestion that it says revision January 1st, that you put on each page Rev 1/24, because I guarantee you at some point, I mean, it's been 14 years since it, pages are gonna get split out of this thing and nobody's gonna know which one goes with which. And it's just a recommendation.
Yep.
That would have been picked up by an auditor.
Fair point, and the council will accept it. I would add that to the approved policies.
Thank you.
It's wise to put in any policy.
And that would be consistent with the other city policies.
Yeah, I figured it probably was.
So that I will accept any motions for that, the updated fire department policies as presented with the revisions, Councilmember Tui recommended. So moved. Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Councilmember Williams seconded. Any other discussion, comments, or concerns? If not, all those in favor? Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. And then the last item is item 6D, the official newspaper declaration. That was added late, so I think you all have that in front of you. Mr. Roby, you want to review that real quick?
Yes, very briefly, the Henderson Independent served as the official publication for the city of Sueur in 2023. We have a very good operational relationship with the Henderson Independent. They're very responsive to our requests. They ask good questions, and we appreciate the partnership. They still enjoy a solid circulation within the city of Sueur. And so the recommendation from staff would be to continue with the Henderson Independent as the official publication in 2024.
With that, I'll accept any motions.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Tui. Councilmember Sullivan seconded. Any other discussion, comments, concerns? If not, all those in favor? Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. And with that, I will accept the motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Hunter.